Hello and welcome to the Next Fitness Show. This is Alexis Craig. I'm coming to you live today from Minnesota, and that's why we're doing the show on Sunday today. So, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And if you are here live, then please go into the chat right now and say hi. I would love to see you in there, to know that you're here. And I'm really grateful for your presence and excited to talk to you about what we're talking about today. The thing that we're talking about today is something that's been near and dear to my heart for a really long time. It was actually my gateway into the fitness realm, and it's something that I've been a little bit estranged, sort of, not fully, but a little bit from for a while. And so, um, it's kind of a homecoming for me in a number of ways, and a chance for me to introduce it to you. So nice. Ah, the chat is going off. All right. Megan says, Happy Sunday. Mom's here and says, Hi ho, time for the show. Aaron says hello. Jenny says hi. Brandon says hi. All right. Awesome. Cool. Okay. Welcome. So, all right, let's see. Make sure I'm ready. I have a little bit different setup going on today because I am in Minnesota. So, just saying tech might be a little different, but it's all good. All right. So, what I want to share with you about today is I'm going to call it my first love in the health and fitness realm. And what it is suspension training. So, how many of you have actually tried this before? Do you know what I'm even talking about? Have you ever used a suspension trainer? Are you familiar with it? I'd love to know. So if you have actually tried it, put that in the chat. Let me know what your experience level is. If you've seen it, have you heard of it? Have you tried it? Do you have one? What are we even talking about right now? Well, I'll tell you the story. I started working out just as just like you working out, and I was at a self-defense studio, and I was actually working as a private investigator, and I started working out at the self-defense studio because I wanted to learn to be safer at work. And so I was taking self-defense class, but they also had fitness class. So I started checking it out, and I saw these black and yellow straps that were hanging from above, and I'd never seen that before. And it looked like some kind of S&M thing, and the guy teaching it was like really cool. And so I just went to try it just to see what it was all about. And it was so much fun. It was so much fun. It was like I got to hang and kind of swing and try things I'd never done before, and I loved it so much. And I ended up my boss says the PI thing was kind of a jerk to me, and the lady who owned the fitness studio was like, "Hey, you're really good at this stuff. Do you maybe want to try to teach for us?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, that sounds fun, but I don't have any qualifications." And she's like, "Well, did you know that TRX headquarters is in San Francisco, and that they have a course you can take in one day, and you can learn how to teach the TRX class in just one day?" And I was like, "Okay." And so the very first thing, before I was a personal trainer, before I did anything else in the fitness world, I took this TRX course for one day and learned how to be someone who teaches TRX. And it opened my mind, it opened my world. And we talked about, like, when my mom was here, we talked about how I was already inspired by my brother's transformation to be able to learn to walk again after being paralyzed by a fitness trainer. And that really opened up this idea that fitness training was a transformative thing. And then I realized, oh, I could take this TRX course in one day and teach this fitness class. Okay, yeah. So I took this course and I learned so much, and it was so much fun. So I started teaching this TRX course at the gym, like a workout class. And honestly, I was making up all my own moves. And I didn't know what I was really doing, but I was having a lot of fun. And it turned out that the headquarters of TRX was like 8 blocks away, and they had never done group TRX before. The self-defense gym was doing group TRX before TRX was even doing group TRX. So I went to TRX and I was like, "Hey, you guys thinking of doing group TRX?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna open in like a month. We're looking for instructors." And I was like, Well, great. So I was in the first wave of instructors that they hired at this training center for TRX. And I mean, kind of the rest is history. So here, you can see me. This is me as an instructor at the TRX training center. It was in San Francisco. It was awesome. And it was so, so, so much fun. And I met some really, really awesome, I mean, not just some, a lot of amazing people there, including, you can see right here, here's me right here. And here is Medwin. So Medwin and his friend Jamel, who's next to him, used to take my class every single day. They took my class every day for like months. And one day I was late for work and I knew they would be there. And um, so I basically called and I said, "Hey, I'm in traffic. You got to start class without me. I don't want to get in trouble. Start class without me. I know that Medwin teaches Muay Thai. He'll know the warm up. He knows the warm up. He does it every day. We have Medwin lead the warm up." And so they had Medwin, the just like one of the participants in class, lead the warm up for everyone else because he obviously knew how. And he's like, "I could teach this." And so he became a fitness trainer too. And that's basically how Medwin, I mean, that's basically, and so did Jamel. Medwin and Jamel, you can see here, are both still my friends, I would say. And it's these two guys over here on the right. And anyway, so, and then TRX asked me to be a instructor for a group. So here's Medwin on the TRX. It's awesome. The suspension trainer. Um, And then they asked me to teach other instructors to become TRX instructors. So check this out. I started teaching this course in 2009. This is in 2013. And you can see me. I don't know if you can tell. I'm right here doing this like kneeling back bend right there. And down here on the bottom left is Mary Beth. I don't know if I could zoom in, but this right here is Mary Beth. And she took this course from me in 2013. And that's how we met. And the rest is history. I mean, so just saying, TRX has been a way not only for me to get into my body, but also a way for me to meet amazing other people as well. All right, so here's what's happening in the chat. Aaron says, yes, yes. Aaron definitely knows about TRX and we do personal training together and we use the suspension trainer on a regular basis. Jenny says, I have tried it prior to having kids. It was awesome, but very challenging. All right, good to hear. Aaron says, we bought it, but never used it until I helped out. Cool. Mom says that she took classes with me in San Francisco. That's true. And I showed the picture of that when you were the guest on the show. Brandon says, it works so well. I love how you use your body weight to make it easier or tougher. Totally. Ah, Sabrina's here. Hi, Sabrina. Great to see you. Are you home from college right now? Okay, so I want to just show you a little bit about what this is and why we're even talking about it. A big reason why we're talking about this is honestly that I have been in a bit of self-care hiatus, as you may or may not know. So I've been really focusing on helping other people for a while, and I haven't really been fully focused on my own self-care for months and in a certain way for years. So right now is this season in my life where I'm coming back to myself and I'm really coming back to actually taking good care of myself, to exercising regularly and to just doing what I need and not just what everyone else needs from me. So, with this, it's kind of this journey for me of rediscovering what is joyful for me to do in my body. What am I willing to do? What feels good? And honestly, TRX is like, it's the first thing I was excited about, and it's something that I'm still excited about. It makes it so that exercise doesn't hurt. It makes it so that I can adjust how hard or easy something is very smoothly without having to buy new equipment. I can just change what angle I'm putting my body and make it a little harder or a little easier as I need to without having to worry like, do I have the heavier or lighter weights? And It also is something that I personally feel very comfortable with being able to physically do well. So I know that this is something for me, like as I come back into my body, that it's a safe place for me to come back to. So with that, as I am coming back into my body, this is this opportunity for me to bring you with me, basically. And for you, if you like to be part of my journey back into my body, you get to kind of come into your body too. So if that sounds like some fun, then this is sort of this invitation for you to actually join me and for us to do this together. So that's what the invitation is going to be. And for right now, I just kind of want to show you, because TRX is going to be a big part of this. So I wanted to show you what it is and introduce it to you so you could kind of see if this is a piece that you would be interested in doing. All right, Sabrina says, I am home, all done with finals. Yay. All right, Sabrina, that's amazing. Congratulations, done with finals. Awesome. Okay, so what are we even talking about here? We're talking about this set of straps. I have some, whoops, on the ground. All right, so this is a set of these straps right here. And essentially, it's straps that hang from above and you use your body weight for resistance. These are static. They're not stretchy. They are static straps. Okay? They have a handle so that you can hold on. And they also have this loop at the bottom that's called a foot cradle so that you can put your foot in that and you can do kind of plank kind of moves, some lunges and things like that too. So that is the basic thing that it is. It's two straps that are joined together at the top and they're not stretchy. So it was invented by a Navy SEAL so that he could work out anywhere. The whole thing weighs like 2 pounds or something. It's super portable, and you can really, the name of the company originally was Fitness Anywhere, because you really can do this anywhere. So the first thing I want to show you is the anchoring. So if you're looking at this and you're like, well, I don't have that, how would I even do that at my house? So there's a couple options of what that would look like. One is you can attach it from above. Now, when you attach it from above, this guy is attaching it to a pull-up bar. Maybe you have something like a beam on your deck, or maybe you have a pull-up bar, or maybe you have some kind of like rafters in your garage or something like that. It needs to be something solid that can hold your body weight. So you can attach it to something like that. And you also can attach it to a door. So you can see here that you can attach it to a door. I personally prefer to put it inside the hinge of the door, but I'll show you that in a minute. And check this out. This is how you attach it to the door. This is called a door anchor. So you would basically just put this over the door or put this in the hinge of the door, and then the straps essentially just clip to that. So you can use any door. It doesn't even have to be a really strong door, and it doesn't even have to be a door with a really good latch. If you put it into the hinge, it will hold. I wouldn't use a sliding glass door, and I wouldn't use like French doors or something like that. But even a closet door or something like that will work. So just start thinking, like, where would you put something like that? Where would you do that? Is there somewhere like that in your workout space that would work? Oh, PS, if you guys know Marissa, the TRX is also how Marissa and I met. So a lot of people, it's TRX is basically how we met. All right. The next piece with TRX for you to know is you can make this, you can make any exercise, I shouldn't really say any exercise, almost easier or harder with TRX. So for one example, let's say a row. There, with a row, if you wanted to make this harder, you scoot forward with your feet. You scoot forward and forward and forward and forward. The more forward you scoot, the more of an angle your body's at, and the more heavy that your row will be. If you want to make this easier, you scoot back, scoot back, scoot back, scoot back, scoot back. So you're mostly standing up. And when you scoot back and you're standing up, it's easy for every exercise. So you can make any exercise easier or harder just by scooting forward or scooting back. And there's a little bit more to it than that, but that basic idea really makes this thing super versatile. Mom says make sure the hinge has long screws into the jamb. Oh yeah. So my mom's apartment, she had the TRX hanging. And you know how in the door jamb, in the hinge of the door jamb, it has a hinge that's like this long, and it's supposed to have a bolt, I would say, or screw that goes all the way through that, right? Hers had like one little screw, like ding, just like here, ding, little screw. That's it. So make sure that your door is properly hung. All right, all right. Keep it safe. That's true. All right, like I said, the straps are static, so they are not bungee. And the thing that I want you to see with this is a great example of an exercise where the suspension trainer is making this easier. So if you're someone where lunges or squats is something that you find to be challenging, TRX will make this easier for you. It gives you something to hold on to so that then some of the weight is not in your legs, so that then you can get a little lower. And if you're thinking, I don't really need my lunges or squats to be any easier, then awesome. That means that you can practice doing a harder version of lunges and squats than you were previously doing because we have this way of making them easier. So with the suspension trainer, we can make we kind of can make the easy things hard, but it makes the hard things a lot easier. I have used the suspension trainer with personal training clients that range from, I mean, I had a woman who is 86 who was using the suspension trainer with me, and we were practicing shoulder mobility. I've used it with Marissa. We're practicing being able to get up off the floor and that kind of thing. It makes your core so strong. It's honestly basically my favorite tool in the whole world. It really is. It's my favorite tool. So, check it out. I'm not exactly like trying to sell this to you. I just want to turn you on to the concept of this because it's seriously game changing. All right. So, with that said, it's time for our stretch break. So, check it out. I'm going to just pick TRX moves today because we're here doing the stretch break, and our stretch break today is the lower back stretch. Now, if you have a suspension trainer, I encourage you to do this now. If you don't have one, then you can hold on to something else. Hold on to a railing. Maybe it's your ballet bar. Maybe you can hold on to the door jamb. And you lean back and drop your hips back. And you're allowing for your spine to traction, opening your shoulders, stretching the entire backside of your body. It's kind of like downward facing dog without having to get down on the ground. Mom says better than the Thigh Master. No joke, better than the Thigh Master. All right. And time. That was our stretch break. Now I want to turn you on to one more thing with this, which is our move of the week. And this move of the week this time is the chest press. Now, check it out. For the TRX chest press, it's basically a push-up where your hands are on the straps and you bend your elbows just like in the push-up and push it back up. Now, this is Carlos. Some of you guys know Carlos. Carlos and I know each other from TRX. Some of you guys know Liana. Liana is also somebody I know from TRX. A lot of the people who came with us to this whole operation of all of these previous platforms came from TRX. So just so you guys know. All right, so check it out. Now, we recently did a strength challenge. We recently did the strength challenge, and push-ups was one of the key moves of the strength challenge. And push-ups are really, really challenging, right? And maybe you tried the push-ups and you're like, I can't do this on the ground. Maybe you put your knees down. And then I'm like, go to an elevated surface. And then your elevated surface is like, well, I could use the wall, but my head's kind of in the way and it's kind of awkward. Oh, I could use the bench, but the benches may or may not be the right height for you. So the whole point here is that with something like this, you can adjust the elevated surface to any height you want it to be. You scoot forward, the elevated surface is easier. You scoot back, the elevated surface is harder. So if you are someone who struggles with push-ups, this is how you will get a push-up, because you get to maintain the plank the entire time. You're not bending at the waist, you're not putting your knees down. You're actually doing a push-up on an angle. And as you get better at it, you scoot back a little bit and go a little deeper. Do a push-up on an angle. As you get better, you scoot back a little bit, do a little deeper. And you get better and stronger, get lower and lower until you can do the push-up on the ground. All right. Mom says move of the week should be get a TRX. All right, all right. And Daniela, welcome. I'm glad you made it here. All right, we're talking about suspension training. Cool. Okay, so that said, if you've never tried this, I really encourage you to try it. If you, of course, you can go out and get a TRX if you want to. You may also be able to try it at the gym. You may also be able to see if your friend has it or something like that. I know for sure that they have suspension trainers at most gyms. Like if most gym that you would go to, they have it there. And as far as group exercise, they definitely have suspension trainers at Orange Theory Fitness, and they also have them at Club Pilates. So, for sure, those are places. If you really want it, you didn't want to buy it, but you wanted to get your hands on it and just try it, those are places where you would be able to do it. Okay. So, that said, questions? Anybody have anything to share around it? Are there any moves that you're chasing with it? For me, it was a key to a totally amazing handstand. It was excellent for lunges. I mean, there was a day where my job was working out on street corners using TRX. I know that sounds funny, but they would have me hook up the suspension trainer to like the light post on the corner of a busy intersection in San Francisco. And so that people walking by would be like, "What are you doing?" I'd be like, "Oh, working out. Have you seen this before? You want to try it? Here." And I would, reel them in to try it with me, and then give them a free pass to take my class, or give them a coupon to buy a suspension trainer or whatever. Um, and I was working out on this thing, like, I don't want to say all day every day, but basically I'm hours every day, hours every day. And I got in the best shape of my entire life for sure. And I went to my sister's graduation, and I was wearing high heels, and I was on a bus, and I kind of tripped as I was getting out of the bus. On the top step, I tripped and I fell from the top platform of the bus down the stairs of the bus. And I'm going, "Oh, geez." And at the bottom, I landed on one foot and in high heels and just balanced and stood up. And I was like, was that me? Like, I've always been kind of a clumsy person. That was when I was like, that was like a TRX commercial, just because that was the only reason that I had balance like that, was because I was exercising with the suspension trainer, and it really, really helped my balance so much, especially training single leg, training single leg on everything, that I just stuck the landing. I'm fine. Yes. Anyway, okay. So if this is something, here's the thing. I want to know if this is something that you want to do. Like, you have a little bit of a taste of it. I know that it would take an investment as far as buying equipment. Okay. So I understand that if you're going to do this at home, you're going to need to have this at home. So I want to know, is this actually something you would be interested to do? And if so, then I want you to join this wait list, so that way I get a sense of, like, should we even do this? because if you're like, there's no way I'm getting this suspension trainer thing at home, I'm not interested in this, let's stick with the weights, then that's fine and that's what's going to happen. But if we actually do have interest and we want to do this, then I'm totally prepared to do it, and I'm prepared to work out with you, so we're doing it together, and I'm going to be leading you in the workout, doing the workout myself, and we're basically going to be doing this program of doing the whole thing together. So if that's something that you might be interested in, then this is our link to join the waiting list. It's thenextfitnessthing.com/TRX waiting list. You're not obligated to, once you join the wait list, it does not charge you anything. You don't have to be a member to join the wait list. This is just so I can gauge if we do have the interest to actually do it. Um, okay. What's happening? Mom says Alexis did a beautiful, unbelievable performance at the SF studio for her birthday party, celebrating. It was so breathtaking, captivating. That's true. I used to have a lot of ideas when I worked at TRX. Okay, it's owned by a Navy SEAL, all right? So he's very like, this is something that makes you tough and strong. And I'm like, oh, whatever. This is this elegant thing that'll swing in 360 degrees and I could dance with it and all the stuff like that. So I, for my birthday one year, I had a birthday party at the TRX training center, and I did this like, I don't know, it was like a sexy aerial TRX performance for my birthday party, basically using it. Um, and they would never do that as far as a company TRX wise, but it was, that's what I like to do with it. All right, Erin is stoked, and she's like, absolutely, yes. I know you already have a suspension trainer though too. So here's the thing. The good news is I've actually been talking to TRX. They had a little bit of a change of leadership. So I kind of fell away from them a little bit for a while, but right now they were just bought by a new company and they're revamping things in a major way. So they're coming out with a whole TRX Pilates program. They have TRX for yoga now. And they also have made it so that our members would get a discount if they actually wanted to buy a suspension trainer too. So if this is something that you would potentially be interested in, then if you join the wait list, then I will make sure that you get the link so that you would get a discount on straps if you wanted to get them. Now, I do want to say one other thing with this. These straps are, I mean, I'm not going to say like expensive, but they're not like super cheap. So, for one, if the cost of the straps is a problem for you, I mean, for one thing, we haven't charged you a membership fee in like 2.5 years now. So maybe this would be the thing to invest in instead of paying for the membership fee for the past 2 years. But besides that, there's probably some like cheapy version you could buy from someone if that's a thing. I wouldn't recommend those. The TRX ones are definitely, you know, going to be able to support your body weight and going to work when you want to adjust them and not going to damage your door if you hook it up to that and all those kinds of things. There are certainly reasons to get the real thing and not to get the cheap knockoff, but I'm sure you could find something if you wanted to get the cheap knockoff. Okay, what else? Mom says, I'll do it with you, Erin. You're much stronger, but I'll work on it. I mean, this is the beauty of these things, is that a lot of people who have different abilities can actually work out together because you can adjust how hard it is for yourself. So everybody can be in the same class at the same time. Um, Erin says, Lana, you're absolutely amazing. I agree, Mom. You're amazing and strong. And all right, so enough about TRX. That's about all I have to say about that right now. But if you want to join the wait list, thenextfitnessthing.com/TRX waiting list. All right, moving on. Here's other announcements we have. The Flower Power 5K is coming up. It is less than a week away now. It's on March. I have March in my head. It is May 30th, which is this coming Saturday, May 30th. Now, a lot of you have been training for this for weeks, so the big day is coming. And even if you haven't been training for this, you could still do a 5K or at least attempt a 5K. And you can still sign up to join the virtual 5K. If you might be interested to join the virtual 5K, you go to thenextfitnessthing.com/flower power5K, and you can still join the 5K, even if you're not going to join the training program. So it's on there. May 30th. It's Saturday. And with that, I want to show you something else that goes with that, which is this. I'm not sure if I think a couple people bought these already, but check it out. The shirt for the Flower Power 5K is super cute. It's got our little logo on the front, and it's got this cute sunshine on the back. I think they're soft, and they're similar, like if you've ever got a tank top from us before, it's a similar actual tank top. It's just in a different color with the different logo. So if you liked the one that you got before for a different event, then it's going to be somewhat similar to those two. So just so you know. So if you are interested to get the shirt, you can go to the same URL, which is thenextfitnessthing.com/flowerpower5K, and you can click here to check out the shirt or get the shirt if you want to. So just so you know, that's the thing. All right, what else do you need to know? Oh, we have our next community event coming up. All right, so this is still about a month away, but I'm just putting it into your awareness. Our next community event is coming up on June 21st. It is summer solstice. So right now you are all here in Memorial Day weekend. It kind of feels like the beginning of summer, right? At least it does here. I've been in Minnesota for a week, and it was literally 30s and 40s and maybe 50 degrees until today. It's like 80 degrees and beautiful. So it feels like summer's starting. But the official first day of summer is June 21st. So we're going to celebrate the first day of summer together. This is also a Sunday, and you're invited. This is completely free to join. If you're not a member, you can still join. thenextfitnessthing.com/summer solstice. All right, now the next thing to talk about is book club. Book club is coming up. Is today Sunday? Yeah, it's a week from today. Book club is a week from today. The book is Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. I have been listening to the audiobook right now. I'm more than halfway through. It's definitely engaging. It's probably not a book that I ever would have listened to if it wasn't for this. And so it's good. It's definitely kind of like a feel-good book that makes me, I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's conflict in it and all that kind of stuff, but it goes fast and it's kind of easy. So if you didn't start it yet, feel free to start the book now. You could totally still do it. It says with Anna, but Anna was meant to lead this book club, but Anna is snuggling with her cute little baby right now, and so I'm covering for Anna for book club for this month. It'll be great. It's a week from today at this exact same time, so you can make it, and you can come if you don't read the book. But more fun if you read it. More fun. There'll be spoilers. All right, Jenny says it's a quick read for sure. Totally. Totally. And mom says grandma's birthday. My grandma's birthday is on summer solstice. That's true. And mine is on winter solstice. Isn't that weird? And mom's a spring equinox. Isn't that weird? Anyway, okay. Here's our shout out for Discord. If you're not in our Discord server, I encourage you to be in there. And especially if you're in the challenge, definitely be in the Discord server. And what that indicates is that it is time for our final tip. Our final tip in here is stacking workouts. Now, what does that mean? It means, what order are you putting your workouts in when you do multiple in a row? Now, because I'm getting back into my own body and it gets me excited to be, working out again, to hear what the latest is. And honestly, it's somewhat, I don't want to say contentious topic. There's a lot of opinions about whether you should do your strength first or if you should do your cardio first. what I got out of the research that I've been doing with this is that whatever you want to focus on, do that first. So if you want to improve your endurance, you should do your walking workout first and do strength after. If you want to improve your strength, you should do your strength workout first and do the walking after. As far as metabolically, and if your goal is to gain muscle and lose fat, strength workout first, walking workout after is going to be more effective. And I believe that for most of the people on our team, that some kind of goal like that is very in line with what you're hoping for, is to get stronger and to convert some fat into muscle, although it doesn't exactly work like that, but you know what I mean, and to generally improve your body composition, to feel stronger, more balanced, and you're not necessarily training for a huge endurance event, except for maybe the 5K we're doing right now. So once the 5K ends, this is our next announcement, is once the 5K ends, we're making a bit of a change into our schedule. There's a couple things changing. One of them is that we will be putting the strength classes before the walking classes during every block of the day during June. So this is partially an experiment. I want to make sure that we still have attendance when this happens. So if this is a huge schedule problem for you, definitely let me know. And if you've been taking class at 6 a.m. Pacific, it has been walk at 6 a.m., strength at 6:30. We're switching it. It's going to be strength at 6 a.m., walk at 6:30. The whole point of this is to encourage you to actually do the strength. I know that for a lot of you, like, the walk is fun and the strength is like, okay, I'll do it. Right? So, what I'm hoping with this is that you'll show up for the strength and that you'll do it. And then you'll go for the walk as your reward afterward. I also recognize that it is logistically easier to do the strength first. I think. I mean, of all the teammates I've been talking to, that is true. So you can be home and do the strength. And then if you're going to go outside and do your walk, you did the strength and you go for the walk. That way, if you're not all the way home at the end of the walk, it doesn't really matter. Where right now, on a lot of our classes, we have the walk first. If the walk is first, you might not actually make it home in time for the next class. And then you're like, well, I was kind of thinking maybe I would do the next class, but I'm not home in time for it. So I guess I'm not going to get that one, right? So the intention here is, if you've been working out at 6 a.m., come to the strength class. It might be stretching, it might be yoga, it might be active mobility, it might be bar, whatever it is. Come to that class first and then do the walk afterward. That's the plan. Okay. Daniela says, yes, I was just going to say that. Once I'm walking, it's tough to get back in time. Totally. Exactly. I totally get that. It's tough to get back in time. Partly because you're already on a roll and you're out and walking and it's enjoyable. Partly because there's all kinds of factors. Maybe you're walking your dog. Shout out to Toby. Maybe you are just like, the traffic didn't hit in the way you expected. Maybe you didn't turn around at the exact right place to get home exactly on time or whatever. Maybe you walk back in the door and then there's so many things that kind of come at you when you first walk in the door that it's hard to be able to focus back in to get the strength training happening. I understand. So for the month of June, we're going to put the strength classes first, the walking classes second at each of the time slots, the 6 a.m., the midday, and the evening classes, and see how it goes. If you hate it, we'll ask for feedback. Don't worry. There's a couple other changes coming in June though too. Another change, we put a survey in Facebook about the midday block. Last year, we changed the midday block of classes from 10 a.m. to 8 a.m. Pacific because you all requested us to move it earlier because it's really hot. So we're doing that again this year. It was almost unanimous, not quite, but it was the votes were by a landslide to move it earlier. So the blocks of classes starting in June are going to be 6 a.m. Pacific, 6 to 7, and then 8 to 9 a.m. Pacific, and then 4:30 or 5 to 6. Okay. Starting in June, I'm also going to have a TRX basics class on Wednesdays and Fridays, so that way if you wanted to get a taste of it, or if you just want to see it in action and you're not really sure if you wanted to buy straps but you kind of want to get a feel for what it's going to be like, there will be a class on Wednesday night and Friday morning for you to try, and even if you just watch, that you would get a taste of it there. And if we do have interest for a TRX challenge based on that, what's it called? Waiting list, then we will also have a TRX challenge in June. And like I just said, we'll be putting strength before walking. All right. And I just also want to give a shout out to my brother Kenny for covering the brain teaser 2 weeks in a row. It's been an absolute joy to have Kenny covering the brain teaser. And if you all send me, if you loved it, if you have anything to say like that with feedback for Kenny, or you want him back, definitely send something my way so I could share it with him and encourage him to come back. What else? This coming week, the schedule is basically normal. We're still in May for one more week, so I'm giving you actually a little bit of a heads up. All these changes I'm mentioning, they don't start tomorrow. They start a week from tomorrow in June. So I'm just letting you know a little bit ahead of time before the changes actually happen. Tomorrow is Memorial Day, and our schedule is basically normal. So we don't like not have class or something for Memorial Day. All right. Jenny says, yep, dog harnesses need to come off and then get the TV on and the phone hooked up. Totally. Yes, I get it. So it's kind of probably easier for you if we did the strength first and the walking after, right? Yeah. Okay, perfect. Great. All right. What else? Anybody else have anything to say in here? What do you got for me? You got any comments? You have any questions? You doing anything awesome for this weekend? I am outside in the sun right now. It's wonderful. I'm gonna probably go jump in the lake. Jenny says, yup. And mom says, wear red, white, and blue for Memorial Day? Okay. I'm wearing black. All right. I guess that's it. So you all have a wonderful day. Tonight is yin yoga with Casey, so jump over there if you want to get a great stretch coming up. I will be here tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Pacific. Luckily, I am in Central Time right now, so it's 8 a.m. for me, so cushy. But come and join me in class tomorrow, and I can't wait to see you then. Our show was only on Sunday for this one time. It's not usually on Sunday. I do have a guest for next week. I actually have a really interesting guest for next week. It is a man who I met in person, and he has an app and also a YouTube channel where he um, creates meditation music that actually alters your brain waves. It's super, super interesting. And I nerd out on this kind of stuff. I'm really into it. And I have been using not only his YouTube channel and app, but the concept of doing this I've been doing for years. I'm really into it. So I'm excited to talk to him about it, to share the concept with you. His name's Eric, and he's going to be our guest on Friday. So, all right. Have a wonderful day. Take good care. And we are going to dance it out right here, right now. Let's do it. Let's go. Dance it with me. I almost said happy Friday. Happy Sunday. Mom says Kenny's a crack up. I know, right? Keep him in the loop.